Yeah, it's Frog Leap Studios. It's Leo Moracchioli. He's in Norway. It's Zeppelin. It's Immigrant song. A lot of people have no idea that the song existed before Thor Ragnarok. I know, stupid. The song's literally 50 years old, 4 years older than me, but that's not why I'm yelling right now. Why? Because I want to show you how bad the YouTube closed caption translator is. Go ahead, show them how stupid you are.
Broccoli Studios.
Broccoli Studios. Can't make that up. Because when I saw it, I thought what you thought. Stupid. It is. It's like the worst auto captioning subtitles application I've ever seen. But the fact that it does it on its own is not bad at all. It struggles. Anyway, so this one released last week, but I was not home last week. So we're doing it this week, which is really good. It's coming out now because I can't stand Fraggle Rock. I'm sorry. When I grew up, it was Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, and that's about as far as it went for me. Fraggle Rock, Care Bears, My Little Pony, not my style. I was a little boy and I played mud with sticks. I didn't really go for puppets. Not to say that Leo's work with puppets has not been instrumental to his success. It has been. It just isn't my thing. So let's get back to something else. Last week, Immigrant song. When I saw it came out, oh my God, I lost myself. I was like, uh-oh, this one's going to be difficult. Now, Leo Moracchioli has every right to do this cover. Why? He's Norwegian. Why is that important? Have you ever read the lyrics to Immigrant song? They should have just called it Viking Norway National Anthem, or Icelandic Viking National Anthem, or Swedish Viking National Anthem, Danish you see what I'm saying? Read the lyrics to the song and you're like, oh my God. It's like, not only, and I see why Taika Waititi paid the money to put it in Thor Ragnarok, because it literally is a song that translates to Norse mythology very, very, very well. But I was shocked at how many people, I understand if you're 12, I understand if you're a teenager, and the first time you ever heard Immigrant song was when you saw Thor Ragnarok, and that's your parents' fault. Because apparently your parents are ridiculous. Maybe they were too busy trying to keep you off drugs and making sure you were studying in school, but everyone from my generation knows Zeppelin first, maybe a little Beatle, Jimi Hendrix action, then you get into the parenting stuff. Come on. But seriously, Immigrant song, 50 years old. Yeah, isn't that awesome? All right, here we go. My name is OldSkuleNerd. This is Leo Moracchioli. It's our weekly thing. You know, we're back. We love it. Check us out on OldSkuleNerd.com. It's got all of our social media posts. Be sure to check the description below. The original link to this video will be there. Check out Leo's original video. Give it a thumbs up. Give it all the love and everything you're supposed to. Why? Because he works hard on this stuff, man. It takes a lot of work to be able to do a Robert Plant belly shirt. You know what we refer to it as a belly shirt? It's actually just a vest with no shirt underneath, open, and he does a little thing like Song Remains the Same. If you don't know what Song Remains the Same is, it was a song, but it was also a concert in Madison Square Garden. One of the best live concerts done as early as it was. You should check it out. I'm going to shut up now. Let's get into this. I talk a lot. Why is this in so few tracks? Is he doing it on purpose? The original, I think, is spun on an 8-track. It was recorded in 32 tracks, master tape. But even on the original, Jimmy Page's guitar intro was only on 2 or 3 tracks total. It's a very hollow song. Is Leo doing this on purpose to be authentic? That's pretty cool if he is. Again, I need to shut up. Nice.
We come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. The hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands, to fight the horde, sing and cry, la la la. midnight sun where the hot springs flow. How soft you'll feel so clear, can whisper tales of gore, of how we come, the tides so worn.
I gotta stop it for a second. No, okay, first off, let's do the good stuff. Leo is paying proper homage to the original. Of course, you really don't have to do much to the original for it to not be banging. This is when groove heavy metal kind of first started. The influx of blues and the rhythms of jazz and blues. In fact, one of the if somebody wants to know a lot about Zeppelin and your parents denied you Zeppelin because they're shitty people, that's going to be an ongoing joke, by the way. If you really want to catch up quick to the genius of these people, do two things. Number one, go and watch Song Remains the Same. It is a 2-night concert event where they sold out Madison Square Garden like twice, like the year before I was born, like 50 years ago. It's going to be grainy and horrible because it's filmed in 8mm or whatever, but you're going to see some amazing levels of musicianship live. And it's the reason why, and performances live like that are the reasons why when people talk about the showmanship and the genius of Led Zeppelin, the next time you had a front man that oozed the amount of charisma that Robert Plant did back in the early 70s, mid 70s, was then Freddie Mercury in the 80s. I mean, that's the level you're talking about. Now, second thing you need to do is to then go and watch on YouTube. There's a dozen copies of this on YouTube. Go to the Kennedy Center Honors, Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson from Heart. Led Zeppelin was getting the Kennedy Center Honors, which is the Kennedy Center is an artistic center in Washington, D.C., where they hand out these rainbow corded medals. They don't look like a traditional medal, but they look more like a upper educational chalice thing, amulet. Okay, anyway, but they only give it to like people that are pinnacle to the arts, and they usually give them to them at the twilight of their lives or careers. So in 2012, Obama, Michelle and Barack Obama are like, let's get Zeppelin in on this. You can see the video. Michelle and Obama are like, yeah. But more importantly, at the Kennedy Center Honors, the artists do not perform. They get other artists to perform their work as they sit up in the presidential box in honor. For Led Zeppelin, they played a few different songs. They had Lenny Kravitz come out and play some, but the pinnacle of it was Ann Wilson came out with her sister Nancy, and they did Stairway to Heaven. And a lot of people believe that it is some of the best, it's the best cover of Stairway to Heaven, and possibly the best live performance of the song ever done. In fact, the drummer, John Bonham, his son Jason came in with the bowler hat on that you see Leo wearing in tribute of his father. Here's the bad part. Leo does not have infinite time, nor does he have infinite budget to get these things exactly right. Now, he hits Robert Plant pretty head on. You know, Robert Plant had the flowing golden locks, the vest wide open with his belly showing with some skinny low-ride jeans and just kind of shaking it. He's doing that fine. Jimmy Page, however, was well known to play with black pants, black shirts, or jumpsuits all in black with moon and stars embroidered into the legs, bell-bottom style. And his hair was kind of a short crop, similar to a Beatles cut, or tossed, similar to what Leo's playing behind the drums in this one. John Bonham's look could either be the bowler hat with long hair flowing out. Actually, if Leo switched the wigs between the wig he has for John Bonham and the wig he has for Jimmy Page, it would be more accurate. John Bonham was known for two looks. One, the bowler hat with his long hair coming out, or his long hair with a red or brown bandana. And what he's doing with John Paul Jones, who's the bass player of Led Zeppelin, is completely opposite of what John Paul Jones is doing. He looks more like Dave Grohl in an early Foo Fighters video, you know, being stupid. John Paul Jones was about as electric as an Amish wagon. Okay, very calm, very subdued, but he could play that bass like nobody's known. The look, though, the shirt, the pants, the 70s psychedelic looking long sleeve shirt, that was typical John Paul Jones. If Leo really wanted to go over the top with this, there's only one detail he's missing that I wish he would have done. It takes a little bit of effort, but if you do it, it's magical. You see the drum set? Well, you can't because I'm in the way. Okay, see the drum set? If he wanted to be super accurate, Leo should have taken his bolt tool, unscrewed these latches, taken his little bunny Frog Leap Studio cover off the front of this drum, and taken the blanket out. Why? The reason why John Bonham's sound was so overwhelmingly bombastic, especially live, is he didn't put a muffle blanket in his bass drum to make it just go boom, boom, boom. He left it open with no filler inside, so it would go boom, boom, boom with that resonance. He did it on purpose, which gave him a very bombastic sound, which is what he was known for. It's not a bad thing. I'm nitpicking here. This is probably one of the best metal covers of this song you're ever going to hear. Why? Because Leo's going to do it right. I've said this time and time again. There are songs that when I see come up on a cover list, I'm like, I hope this doesn't suck, because I love cover artists. Halocene, Violet Orlandi, Lauren Babick, David Michael Frank. All these different creators are creating covers of songs that are traditionally older than their audience, like this one 50 years ago. And if they do it right, it is magical. If it's done half-ass, those that are like my age who remember the original will hate it. Anybody does a Zeppelin song, I start to be like, because it's not easy to live up to that expectation. Because people who cover Beatles songs, all you got to do is do it well, and you're okay. Because Beatles songs have a tendency to be very simplistic. That was their whole thing. Led Zeppelin tried to be as complex in their arrangements as you could technology at the time for an analog generation. And they were really good at it. So Leo doing this one and doing it the way he did makes me very happy. At the beginning, he did that scratch, that check, 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 and then dropped in. That's about as far as he's gone off of the original so far, and that's important. You can always count on Leo to bring forth the original properly, to give the respect to the original artist first. And then if he decides to go Leo crazy, he does it towards the middle and then the rest of the song. He may do that here. We don't know, because I haven't shut up long enough for us to play the video. See, you don't have to comment in the comments telling me to shut up. I know. I just don't listen to myself. And I definitely don't read those comments. It's true.
We are your overnight.
Okay, Robert Plant never did that, but he did everything but that.
Always sweet with thrashing high. Our only goal will be the West End Show.
This is all Leo right here.
So now you better stop and rebuild all your ruins. Since trust can win the day despite of all your losing. So now you better stop and rebuild all your ruins.
This is cool.
Since trust can win the day despite of all your losing.
Okay, normally Led Zeppelin does a lot of drug-induced ethereal stuff, which works really well if you're Nightwish, because you don't need the drugs, you just need to almost have a bottle of wine, and you can get all this crazy ethereal stuff. But Led Zeppelin was doing it back in the 70s when you really didn't have samples. You had either the orchestra or you just had to wing it, and they were able to do it. So this part is usually kind of ethereal, kind of a little swanky little psychedelic feel. Leo's like, I'm gonna break this down and go at it. Oh, one more thing. John Bonham never used a double kick. So when you hear Leo doing that, that's the only variation from that. The rapid bass kicks that John Bonham did do, he did with a single pedal. Yeah, that's why people still look at him as one of the greatest. And he was. Was he the most technical? No. John Bonham and Danny Carey from Tool are very similar. they play drums based upon feel and the groove. And John Bonham would literally count loudly, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, and 1, and he would talk the whole time. Some people thought he was on drugs or demon possessed if you were in the religious circles, but I think it's just he was in that groove so much he loved it. Danny Carey is the same way. Technically, you could get into a lot of drummers that are technical, like a Neil Peart, who played click tracks and extremely stringent written material all the way until the latter part of his career when he decided to do a little bit more free flow. But yeah, there's a difference. John Bonham is not the most technical drummer of all time. He's not. But he is one of the best groove feel drummers in the blues, rock, metal. People put him in the top 5, and there are drummers now that can play stuff better than John did back in the 70s. But if you're looking back at the 70s based upon technology that's available now versus then, and the progression of music to where it is now versus then, people still look at John as not an idol, but a set stone. Okay, you have Keith Moon for that crazy over-the-top stuff, John Bonham, Neil Peart, Danny Carey. The list goes on. And when people look now at current drummers, and some of the current drummers that are in their 20s are putting stuff down that you wouldn't dream of seeing in the 70s. Some of it is the progression of music, some of it is the technology, but yeah, Godfather, definitely. The Mount Rushmore of that metal drum genre that gave you if Neil Peart set the bar for people like Dave Portnoy and other people to say, how far can I go with this? As far as you want, because Neil Peart said you can. John Bonham is the one that said, do I have to stick to a set style, or can I be fluid? Can I just go with the groove? Can I feel what I'm doing versus sticking to a technique? He's on the Mount Rushmore for that. Make sense? Now, this is coming from a perspective of someone who's played percussion for 30 years. I'm not saying I'm a super drummer, and I'm not saying I'm a music teacher, but I'm a feel drummer. So I play cajon and djembe regularly based upon the flow of the music and the feel in my heart, what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling. So I'm going to gravitate more to a John Bonham and a Danny Carey in how I approach a song than I would a Neil Peart, but Neil Peart's still my favorite drummer of all time. Again, you guys have got to get me to stop rambling. I need you guys to be here live when I'm recording this stuff to tell me to shut the hell up, because I will talk all day about this stuff. This is how much I love Zeppelin, love what they've created, and then love what Leo's done with it. I swear to God, I'm going to shut up now. At least until pre-outro. Deal? Okay, promise. Promise, promise. Yeah, I am probably lying. This is cool. Not cool. Lost your wig, bro. All right, so if this song didn't do anything for you, it should make you go look up some Led Zeppelin remastered stuff, the original stuff. Because Leo, other than his Leoisms, he didn't change the arrangement that much. Yes, he did do a different bridge. He did do a different pre-reprisal chorus, scream, the primal screaming and stuff. There's a little variations in the drumming, but he didn't have to do much. And if you go back and listen to both the original and this song side by side, you'll realize that he stuck to the original pretty good, because if it's that good, you don't really have to do a lot to make it great. So, all right, let's go to the outro. I actually made it to the pre-outro. I'm proud of myself. Tell me you're proud. Come on. Tell me. Put it in the comments. We're proud of you, Old School, for keeping your promise. You're not going to do it. Porn stashes are difficult, bro.
I got a feeling you wanna visit my homepage. I got a feeling you know that I'm the guy you choose selling my songs so nice. So baby, let me know what you think about it. Selling my songs so live. That's all I do all the time. See you later.
Rocking a porn stash is harder work than it seems, especially if it's fake. That dude's an idiot. God, I love him. All right, guys, check out Leo's stuff. Frog Leap Studios. They're on tour, popping all over Europe. Check them out. Check out the channel. He's got so much stuff going on over there. Still waiting for that announcement for that US tour. Damn it, because you know I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna have one of these for you. I'm gonna have one of these for you to sign so we can put it on the wall for the live streams. This is the one for Just Joe in Syracuse. He's the opener for Holocene and Lauren Babick in Houston. So I got his done. Yeah, going to that next week. Anyway, so I'll get a Frog Leap Studio one with the little frog and the little frog leap on it. And hopefully he'll sign it. And Trolls and Rabia and the whole gang will sign it. We'll put it up on the wall because, you know, what we do. Again, rambling. You guys really need to learn to stop me. It's getting bad.